Hey, what's up guys? Rev here. So across the YouTube cinematic universe, there is a whole host of drama that we cover, but you guys seem to respond the most to any drama involving Moistcritikal, aka Charlie, which is unsurprising because he's very popular and I know a lot of you guys watch him. And his latest tournament arc featuring the content creator Sneako is one that millions of people have been locked into, and it's something we covered on this channel about 2 weeks ago. Well, today, I come with some updates that prove that maybe this beef has been squashed between these two individuals. And also, it's bothering me, it's in the corner of my eye. Elon Musk, for some reason today, turned the Twitter symbol into the Doge meme. I can't imagine anything being more Reddit than this. But nonetheless, in case you missed the previous video, here's a very quick rundown. This content creator named Sneako, who is very controversial, he's like an Andrew Tate clone. He's been banned off of platforms like YouTube for many months. He took a whole host of jabs at Charlie, calling him a soy boy, making fun of his content, making fun of his relationship, making insults towards his girlfriend, until finally 3 months ago, Charlie made his first response in the form of this video, where he made two main points. Number one, saying that this man, Sneako, has no right to make fun of anyone's relationship because he is a self-admitted cuck who watched his girlfriend get railed by various men at a swingers party. And two, that Sneako is the world's bravest defender of the Cuties film, which people like myself, Charlie, and many others consider CP because it sexualized the underage girls who acted in that film. Well, he did not take this very well. So in response, he kept poking at Charlie, making fun of him more and more, until finally things boiled over again about 2 weeks ago after Sneako made this sort of a soy boy board of everyone who's ever criticized him, and it included Charlie, of course, who quote retweeted with this painful quote retweet, blasting him, making fun of him, and once again pointing out his defense of cuties and the fact that he is a self-admitted cuck, which was reflected in his next video where he talked about not only his renewed stance on everything that Sneako has done wrong, but also pointed out this infamous clip from around that time where Sneako was waving a gun and doing some weird Irish jig, basically implying that he might try to shoot Charlie if he saw him in Tampa, where Charlie resides. Now, this wouldn't end very well because we got this infamous Mags clip, which I'm sure you've all seen at this point.
Dancing around with a gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, "Oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you," waving his gun around and dancing.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you were?
Absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid.
So unsurprisingly, in the time following that video, the internet continued to dunk on Sneako, who really wasn't showing any signs of changing his views on any of this stuff or relenting his attacks on Charlie. However, we saw some small hints of self-awareness. A few days ago, Sneako made this tweet saying, "Yo, MeatCanyon, I can't even lie. That was a funny-ass video." Now, MeatCanyon, for those who don't know, makes some awesome animations, and he made one highlighting the Sneako and Charlie drama, and it basically raises all the same jokes about cuties, the cucking, all that stuff, the mags versus clips, and to have the self-awareness to be made fun of in this way and say that it was funny was refreshing. A lot of people didn't expect this out of Sneako, who is normally very insecure about himself. But things would really escalate a few days ago on the 30th when Sneako would upload this video to Rumble, because of course he is banned on YouTube, where he addresses everything about what Charlie has said and all the related situations and criticisms he was receiving. Now, of course, there was a lot of doubling down in this video. He continued to defend cuties, That's probably not surprising. It is a hole he has dug himself and he's likely going to stay in. But also there was some self-awareness. I mean, he also addressed the cuck allegations. That's probably the most important thing, right? He basically said that during that point in his life, he was involved in a lot of degenerate things, and he admitted that at the time he had cheated on his girlfriend, and he brought her to that swingers party as some sort of an amends to the fact he cheated on her, which you don't have to be a relationship expert to know that that is a horrible idea. But just like anything else, he kind of like has some self-awareness, and then it kind of blows up, where he also blames all of those activities and other related things like drug use at the time to the woke mind virus infecting his brain, which is a common theme in the video. Sneako just blames everything on this woke mind virus that was affecting him at the time. But on to the main topic of the video, which is his response to Charlie. And he makes it very clear how he thinks about Charlie and what he thinks Charlie stands for, or in other words, doesn't stand for.
Moistcritikal is the physical embodiment of everything that I stand against. And honestly, no disrespect to him, I don't dislike him. He's just the perfect example of a popular YouTuber that's brainwashed. I used to watch his videos when I was a teenager, just like a lot of my other haters, and today he's everything that I don't want to be when I'm 30 years old. When I'm his age, I don't want to be playing children's video games, playing with dildos for content, and using Satanism to be edgy. I don't want to drop the Antichrist for fun. What is this? Please someone tell me what they enjoy about this.
So Sneako makes it very clear in the video that Charlie stands for everything that he doesn't like. He is the embodiment of degeneracy while he's playing with dildos in his videos and playing video games and doing all of these things. And basically Sneako says that's not the person I want to be when I'm 30 years old, which, you know, fair enough, to each their own. But basically he paints Charlie as that, and he really offers no other real argument about why Charlie's wrong about anything he's saying, other than saying that Charlie doesn't stand for anything, that Charlie doesn't have real beliefs on anything, which if you go to Charlie's channel right now, you can find videos even from this week where he covers very heavy and opinionated topics. So I just don't really think that is true. But the one thing I will say about Sneako's video, you see some actual more signs of self-awareness, where he addresses the fact that he was in the wrong for making fun of Charlie's girlfriend, amongst some of the other jabs that he was making towards Charlie and other people. But things really came to a head in the following days when Charlie posted this video onto YouTube, which at this point I think it's close to 8 million views, which is insane, the amount of attention that this drama has gotten. It is an interview, a call between Charlie and Sneako. You can see it's about an hour and 15 minutes long. We're obviously not going to sit here and watch any sort of significant amount of it, but it was a very interesting call. Now, there were some things in this call that they just weren't going to agree on, okay? They were not going to come to an agreement on cuties. It was never going to happen, right? We all know this. And there were some other things like Andrew Tate, their view of him. They weren't going to agree on that. But they did agree on some things, and Sneako admitted again that he was wrong for attacking Charlie's girlfriend, but also pointed out that he was the aggressor in the situation. Sneako admitted that he was the aggressor, and he was the one that was egging on this reaction, and he doesn't blame Charlie for having a strong response to him, which was, you know what, more self-awareness than Sneako has shown at any given point so far. And he also claims that he wants to use his platform for better. He wants to use his influence in a more positive way. And honestly, how can you really knock the man for at least committing himself to this? And whether he follows through on that, it's really up to you. But I think there was some pretty interesting moments, especially towards the end, where you can see a much more positive interaction between these two, because at first it's kind of goofy, right? You see Sneako walking around Japan on a cam call defending cuties. Like, imagine walking down the street in Japan and you have this guy Sneako politely talking about why Cuties is such an inspirational film. But there was some moments towards the end that I thought, again, showed more self-awareness and was a pretty positive end. One thing I'm not going to get too into was actually some YouTube fans, some fans of Charlie actually recognized Sneako and actually were talking to both of them briefly, which I thought was a pretty cool moment. But this closing of the beef, I thought was actually a pretty cool moment and something that you don't see a whole lot of in YouTube drama.
I actually do think this was a very valuable conversation, so I appreciate you taking. Oh! I really appreciate you taking the time to have a bit of a call with me about it.
Yeah, thanks, man. And mags, not clips.
Yeah, from now on, bro, if you're gonna be talking about guns, get the terminology right. You very much offended me with that one.
So yeah, it's rare to see people who are having an internet beef have any sort of a positive ending, and for someone who is as stubborn and often insecure and unable to admit their mistakes as Sneako come to a happy conclusion of this call is a pretty positive and good thing and should be looked at in a nice way. And it also relates to a tangent that Charlie went on about halfway through the video, and I thought it was very worth mentioning, and really, to me, is one of the biggest takeaways from this video, and just really something that more people should acknowledge. It's lost on a lot of people, and that is accountability. So there's a big difference between constantly apologizing and taking accountability. Content creators need to take more accountability. It's even something that I believe I should do a better job of, because when you mess up, you have to take some sort of an acknowledgement. You don't have to apologize and fix every single mistake you make, right? Everyone's going to make mistakes, especially people like me or Charlie who talk about a wide range of topics. We're not going to be experts on everything, but when you get something clearly wrong, it's a very good and healthy thing to take accountability for it and say, yeah, I messed up, and make a follow-up video or a follow-up comment or post or a pinned comment, something to say that, yeah, I got that point wrong in a video and I acknowledge that, and that's it. There's a big difference between begging for forgiveness or, trying to bend over backwards to make people happy or try to wipe away what you did wrong, between that and just taking accountability and saying, yeah, I messed up. And I wish more people would do this. And Charlie makes some great points about that. And I'll leave a link to his long interview in the description if you want to check it out. I'm sure you could have found it on your own. I mean, he's Charlie. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for this video. Whether you believe Sneako is turning a new leaf or not, that's up for you to decide. And you're pretty emboldened in your doubts, but you know what? Maybe this is a more positive interaction that leads to at least some character development. He is not going to be a perfect or nice person. That's never going to happen. But will he use his platform for a better purpose? It'll be left to be seen. So that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and maybe my voice will recover soon. We'll see, but I'm doing my best, and yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.